We're here at the Moore Orthopedic Center with Dr. Plymel, and of course, a lot's been made of Deshaun Watson playing against South Carolina with the torn ACL or partially torn ACL. So I wanted to find out some information from the expert, Dr. Plymel, joining me now. Now, first of all, Doc, I played the game a lot of years. I never heard someone playing with a torn ACL. Is that even possible?
It can be possible, especially if it's a partial tear. If he's doing a lot of rehab, he's got a lot of strength in terms of his hamstrings. You can theoretically play with it. You are at a little bit higher risk for further injury, but with a few games left, there is a possibility of playing, especially with a partial tear, not a full tear.
Now, Coach Swinney was saying that he's going to play in the bowl game and that he has some brace that kind of serves as the ACL. Now, I've never heard of that one either.
Yeah, so again, with a brace, they've done studies to show that with other ligaments within the knee, it does protect those, especially with linemen. Now, somebody in his position, not quite as stable with that brace, but I don't think there's actually a brace out there that actually prevents an ACL from being further damaged or actually causing further damage within the cartilage or the meniscus, which is really what you're trying to prevent by bracing it. But there's still no studies to show that that actually is the case.
Now, an LCL and an ACL, what's the difference?
So the LCL is one of the ligaments on the outer part of your leg, and the ACL is actually within the knee itself. The ACL is more for pivoting, cutting type of maneuvers, whereas the LCL kind of protects your knee from going in or out with certain types of maneuvers. So there is a big difference between the two. With the LCL can be protected with a brace, whereas the ACL usually cannot.
Now going forward, if you work with Auburn and Alabama, some teams, so you understand big-time football. So if you're the doctor and of course you're the surgeon, I mean, how do you coordinate this whole thing with an athlete? Should he play? Should not play? Is your decision? Is the coach's decision?
Ultimately, I think it becomes the student-athlete's decision. I would talk to them about it, tell them the risk of it. I'd also discuss this with the coaching and the training staff, and then ultimately I would let them make the decision, the patient themselves, and just know that they are at risk for further damage. But, I would give my opinion on it, which would probably be that you might want to really consider not playing, especially if it's a full tear and there's a lot of instability.
So, okay, finally, as the last question for you, you pretty much answered most of them. So you would probably advise not to play because they could be. Now, and they said there's no chance for further damage.
Yeah, I mean, if he's got a partial tear and he's got good stability, there's no swelling in his knee, and it looks pretty good, and he's able to pass a bunch of functional tests, I would be okay with him, giving him the green light if that's really what he wanted to do, and he understood the risk of that. But, again, that would be based on what his exam looked like and what his MRI really showed.
All right, you heard it from the expert, not me, the guy that works on these. How many did you do in one day? 11 knees?
I've done 11 surgeries a day. Sometimes 5 or 6 ACLs in a day. So yeah.
I think he knows the best. All right, for WACH Fox Sports. Thanks, Doc.